Wait, why is he AFK though? Oh hell no! He heard us from another dimension. You're that or he's mental boom. GG, it's 5v6. It's always has been, bro.
I don't care. I think we're gonna get the AFK protection.
I don't know if we're gonna get the
because
AFK
everyone's not playing his way. They must play around him. That's crazy amounts of entitlement by our guy. Of course, there are going to be games where nothing goes your way. Your teammate might lock in a terrible character, they might just int and feed, or someone might just DC. Now, your brain's immediate reaction is to fight reality. Sometimes you get angry, sometimes you type in chat and you say, "This isn't fair. The EOMM demons have struck. Matchmaking is rigged." But I feel like that is a brilliant way to stop yourself from climbing, because that puts all the blame onto others. You have to accept the reality of the lobby. You cannot reach through the monitor and mind control your players to stop wide swing, and you can't force someone to magically learn how to peel. But what if you use that doomed game as a hyperbolic time chamber? Stop playing to win the match and start playing to test your own limits, test your own skills, see how long you can survive a 5v6, practice your rollouts, take limit testing duels you normally wouldn't take otherwise. Rank is temporary, your mechanics are permanent, and the moment you stop trying to control your random teammates, you take the control back. Yes, I know, losing 5 games in a row hurts your pride. That's a completely normal and human reaction. But I feel like many people, instead of admitting that their aim is off or their positioning is bad, they look for an excuse. And I don't blame you. Your brain does that. It's a way of coping. I think it's much easier to say matchmaking is rigged or the EOMM demons put me in loser's queue than it is to say, oh, I played bad this game. I should play better next time. The thing is, it's not a conspiracy algorithm. It's just your brain trying to protect your ego from a loss streak. So if we just look at the raw numbers, there are 12 people in a standard game. You take up one of those spots, guaranteed. If you guarantee that you will never throw, you never go AFK, and you never tilt, that it leaves only 5 random people where a troll could spawn. But on the enemy team, there are 6 people that could be a troll, AFK, or tilt. Mathematically, the enemy team is always more likely to get the bad player or the trolling player than you are. The math is literally rigged in your favor. Now, does this mean that you won't ever get unlucky? No. Just like in real life, you might flip a coin and get tails 4 times, maybe even 5 times, 6 times. Sometimes you get the AFK Moon Knight in back-to-back games. It is what it is, it happens. But that's just something that happens short term. And over the course of 100 games, that's what we like to call the law of large numbers, the math should always balance out. The hard truth is, if you have played over 100 games and you're still stuck in your rank, short-term bad luck is over. It's no longer your random teammates holding you back. It's you. Now, I know you've heard this around 100 times, but it's true. If you or your stack are not the ones that are running it down or trolling, then the odds significantly improve that you climb in your ranked games. You will get the higher rank. Now, I say this not from some high horse. I'm saying this because I used to be that exact guy. Back in 2016, during the peak of Overwatch 1, I was the one slamming my desk. I was the one yelling in voice chat because random teammates wouldn't play the meta or wouldn't play exactly how I wanted them to play. I thought my game knowledge meant that I deserved the win. But then I started actually watching my own gameplay and reflecting upon myself. I went back, watched my own VODs, and realized a harsh truth. The moment I dropped the ego and started adapting, I shot straight up the ladder. Now, it's perfectly reasonable to go on YouTube or to go on Reddit or to just search up, hey, what's the perfect team comp? What's the meta characters for this game? Either that or you're someone that watches the tournaments and just sees the stuff being played in tournament. But the thing is, it doesn't translate to ranked queue 1-to-1. You are in a solo queue lobby. You are playing ranked. Expecting strangers with no communication to magically execute a perfectly coordinated pro league strategy is pure delusion. If you're the guy screaming in voice chat for everyone to swap characters, you suffer from main character syndrome. You can't expect that whatever you say goes. You're not the star of an esports team. Everyone else is not just an NPC waiting for your commands. If you want to play like that, play an RTS. Play a fighting game.
Oh, wait.
Let's say your teammate locks in an off-meta pick, and you flame them because that character sucks. and you tell them that they need to swap to a character that you want them to play. You aren't God's gift that miraculously fixes every team composition. Doing this leads you to lowering your chances of winning. If they have 100 hours on their off-meta character, their mechanics are completely automatic. Most of the time, they don't even need to look at their cooldowns. They can focus entirely on positioning and game sense. But if you force them onto a meta character just because that character's meta, they have to dedicate 80% of their brain power just remembering how to play the character. Remember that a person playing his comfort pick that just so happens to be a bad pick is probably better than a person that's on a non-comfort meta pick. Think of a solo queue lobby like the weather. When a random teammate locks in an off-meta pick or they aren't playing the way you want them to, it's like the same as stepping outside and realizing it's raining. Don't be the guy that walks outside, stands in the pouring rain, and screams at the sky. No matter how much you scream, the sky's not gonna change. The clouds are not gonna part just because you screamed. Like with the weather, don't dedicate your mental energy to typing in chat, getting absolutely soaked, and becoming furious that the weather isn't following your esports spreadsheet. Even though you can't control the weather, you can't control other people, you just gotta accept that you're gonna get wet and grab an umbrella. Don't throw a tantrum. You should look at the weird team comp and ask, how should I adapt my playstyle to win with this weather, with this team comp? Fighting the reality of the lobby is not gonna work. You gotta start playing within it. The scoreboard in games misses a lot of crucial context. Up to a certain rank, KDA is the biggest lie in competitive gaming, because stats can lie. KDA is always not cut and dry, black and white. It's just one piece of a massive gradient that you have to take into account. Think about a Captain America, or a ball player. His entire job is to take the first engagement to make space. If he's baiting out all the enemy crowd control and getting heavily targeted, but surviving on minimal resources, of course his KDA is going to look worse than a poke DPS sitting comfortably in the backline. That poke DPS is capitalizing on the exact space that that tank just created. Some characters naturally just have a tendency to die more simply due to their role in the fight. Now this doesn't mean we ignore bad gameplay. If a tank is soaking up every drop of healing and still not getting positive resource trades, yes, they're playing poorly, but you have to ask the broader questions. How many team resources are being given up for your value? Are you playing in positions where the support have to hyper-focus you just to keep you alive, meaning that the rest of your team gets way less healing? Are your supports getting dove while you complain about a lack of healing? Are you the one consistently dying first? The scoreboard doesn't show the full context of the lobby, it only shows the math of the aftermath. Hindsight is 2020. Yes, at the end of the day, competitive games are just a numbers game. In a vacuum, the team that trades resources better and more efficiently is the team that wins. But realistically, solo queue is not played in a vacuum. You cannot neglect the qualitative value a player provides while looking at someone's quantitative value. You have to look at both. You have to look at the intangibles. Scoreboard cannot measure a player's mentality. It cannot measure how much physical attention they're drawing from the enemy team. And it completely ignores the opportunity cost of pocketing a player just to artificially inflate their stats. Which brings me to the main point of the video. If you are up 2-0 and steamrolling, and someone opens their mic to flame your bottom fragging teammate, or even flaming your top fragging teammate, it doesn't matter. I will never understand this. You are actively trying to tilt the teammate who's currently helping you win. Why? I don't know, to inflate your ego, because the ego would rather be right than victorious? At the end of the day, it's only a game. It's supposed to be fun. You have to remember that. It's supposed to be fun for you and your teammates. Yelling at your teammates or typing paragraphs to enemy team is not going to magically change the pass or improve anyone's aim. It doesn't make you look like a tactical genius. It just makes you look pathetic. Shut your mic, swallow your pride, and take the free win. Reset, refocus, rise.